Hello, Dr. Gibson and classmates. Today I'll be informing you all on electrical engineering. First, we'll go over what I'll be discussing throughout the presentation. The four main points will be what an electrical engineer is, what type of education is required to become an electrical engineer, what the advancements are in the career field, and the pros and cons to working as an electrical engineer. The reason I chose this topic is because I'm currently going to college for a degree in electrical engineering. Although I was not always interested in the engineering field, working with the Air Force and performing tasks on fighter jets has turned my mind around and taught me what I really want to do. I could do aerospace, structural, or even chemical engineering, but based on the studies I've done since this class has started, electrical engineering is one of the most demanding fields in work these days. With the constant advancements in our technology, the need for electrical engineers will only increase. The textbook definition of an electrical engineer is as follows. Electrical engineers deal with machines and machine components that rely on electrical current or electromagnetic fields. They may work in any industry, but are most heavily concentrated in the electronic sector. Now, to me, it's not so cut and dry. Electrical engineers perform and find new or better ways to work with today's technology. From working on cell phones to million-dollar aircraft, electrical engineers will have some, if not a majority, of the work in their hands. Every time a new cell phone is released, an electrical engineer has corrected wirings or found a smaller component to fit better. Even in the smallest category of electronics, electrical engineers have a part to play. Many people think all engineers are the same or all work the same. Here we have chemical engineering, structural engineering, automobile engineering, and finally electrical engineering. Yes, at times engineers work together in a single task, but they do not necessarily do the same job. With chemical engineering, I highly doubt you'd ever see an automobile engineer in the same space. Chemical engineering focuses solely on physical science, life sciences, and chemical materials. Now these next three, automobile, structural, and electrical, I'm sure you'll see them working together all the time. These three career fields share many of the same characteristics as each other, considering with automobiles, you'll need some sort of electronic connection, and you'll definitely need the vehicle to be structurally sound. As much as I'd love to, I won't get into the details about what other career fields do. For this presentation, we're focusing on the electrical aspect of engineering. Education is a major step in all career fields. Even if you don't officially need a degree, some sort of structure or education is needed in order to be proficient in that occupation. For electrical engineering, you need the following: a bachelor's degree or higher for advancement opportunities, computer skills, science or a math background, creative thinking, technical writing, or public speaking. The bare minimum nowadays won't necessarily get you where you want to be. Companies look for qualities that make an individual stand out. Having a bachelor's technically meets the requirements to obtain a career in electrical engineering, but without thinking outside the box type skills, your impression won't be as impressionable as others. Here's a quote I got from study.com. Being highly skilled with computers has become a necessity for those interested in an electrical engineering career. In addition, one must have an interest in science and math to obtain any job in the field. An ability to think outside the box is also needed, since those with electrical engineering careers search for innovative ways to incorporate electronics into everyday products and high-tech machines. Education for electrical engineering, along with technology, is constantly changing. According to the article, A Holistic Approach to Transforming Undergraduate Electrical Engineering Education, the current engineering educational system is failing students, alumni, and society in two fundamentally important ways. The curriculum as it stands now doesn't necessarily prepare electrical engineering students properly because the teachings that go into the program are outdated. The basics will always stay the same as any profession would have it. In order to attract and retain students in engineering, we must do a better job of making educational experiences more meaningful and relevant in the context of a global economy. Every day there are computers, cell phones, cars, and even aircraft being worked on to replace the older models. Think about it. Every year, a new version of the hottest iPhone is released. Imagine the process that it takes to create a new product in that short amount of time. And that's for devices the size of your hand. On a bigger picture, for example, the F-35 fighter jet is here to replace older aircraft. This process has been in the works for years, and at the same time, new technology is being produced to replace the technology that's already existing in certain components of the F-35. It's confusing, right? The technology produced in a year in 2017 outdates the technology produced from the years 2000 to 2010. For example, YouTube was created in 2005, and now there are tons of different programs that allow you to share in 2005 there are now tons of different programs that allow the users to share videos. You need another example? Looking at technology, there are a few programs or inventions today that wouldn't even exist without electrical engineering. Some of these would include electrical power converters, virtual reality, eye tracking technology, and wireless wearable technology. 100 years ago, we never would have thought of the technology we have now. What left do we have to create or discover? Some examples would include flying or self-driving cars or see-through cell phones. But wait, all of these are already underway. There are both advantages and disadvantages to every occupation or career. Here we will discuss the pros and cons implemented with electrical engineering. Pros would include high salary, wide range of career opportunities, job flexibility. Cons would be ongoing education required, and altogether it's a risky occupation. Let's get into the pros and cons a little bit more. On average, an electrical engineer makes over $90,000 a year. On top of the amount of money they make, the opportunities range from telecommunications, computer, or aerospace. Also, electrical engineering allows easy access in different engineering fields such as structural or engineering. Now, the not so great part of this career includes the constant changes in education. It's hard to keep up with teaching the electrical aspects of a career as technology is changing. On top of the education requirements, electrical engineers constantly risk personal injury involving electric shock or worse. To wrap it all up, electrical engineering isn't for everyone. This career requires perseverance, extensive school, alternative thinking, risk management, and an overall interest in the subject. This being a forever changing career field, an individual pursuing electrical engineering has to constantly be on his or her feet. There is much to expect in the years to come. It's simply a matter of time before one thing replaces the next. Today we discussed what electrical engineering is, what electrical engineering requires, the advancements in electrical engineering, and the pros and cons to this career field. Altogether, this class has taught me a lot. I've learned how to manage my time with my work schedule, create useful outlines, communicate, and how to utilize online college overall. It has been a great first semester of my college experience, and I'm looking forward to the future classes to come. In addition to the assignments, this class has also influenced my view on electrical engineering in a more positive way. Thank you all for the helpful tips along this journey.